All right. A warm welcome and good afternoon from Amsterdam to all of you. I hope you can see us and that also the audio is clear enough. Please write in the chat to your right if that's not the case, then we will, of course, try to fix that immediately. So again, warm welcome. My name is Marcel. I'm the Marketing and Communications Director for Highbrows. Next to me is Sham, our Managing Director and Founder, and also
Hello.
the engineer and the mastermind behind the product that we want to talk to you about today. So we have quite some things lined up for you, and I want to jump right into the presentation because we also want to be, of course, mindful of your time and be on time. So we booked until 6 o'clock. So that means we will start right now. And if more people join, there will be a replay also available later on. Just a few technicalities to start with before we jump into it. On the right side, you'll see there's a public chat. So if you have any questions during the webinar where we want to talk to you about legal research and specifically legal research in the European Union law, just place them in the chat. At the end of the presentation, we will have a Q&A, an extended Q&A. If the question is urgent and relevant to what we're just talking about, we will squeeze it in. Otherwise, our colleague Anushri, who is also in the chat, will take care of that question, and then we will answer it in the Q&A later on. So what can you expect from today? We want to talk about legal research on EU law, and specifically also what we see as the problem in the legal research field there, and how we think we can solve that for you. So we want to talk about what is Highbrows and what can it do for you specifically to tackle that problem. Then we don't only want to tell you about this, we also want to show you, of course, what that means. And we want to show you Highbrows in action. So you will see a short product demo for about 10 minutes where Sham will walk you through the platform and show you on a first glimpse, so you get a sneak peek on how Highbrows works. After that, we would like to offer you something also, and then we will end with a Q&A to end the webinar. So let me just quickly, 1 second. Okay, now we're good. All right, let's jump right in. So first of all, what is the problem? So we identified the problem not only by us researching a lot on that, we also interviewed hundreds and hundreds of participants from throughout the entire industry. So that it could have been students who research on EU law, that have been professors, that have been universities, that have been paralegals, immigration lawyers, competition lawyers, throughout the entire field. And what we got back from them were basically a couple of things. The first one was that still a significant amount of people are using books to research. While books, of course, are a trustworthy resource and you can always rely on books and the information that you can find in there, it's still quite a time-consuming process. You have to order the books, you have to browse through all of these books until you find the information you need. You might even miss out on some information along the way. And you still have to find all the connections yourself. So it's a lot of manual work. And we do believe that now in the 21st century, within the digitalization, there's a lot more opportunity to tackle that problem in another way. The second part is also, even if you're not using any books anymore, maybe you're using public databases or you're using paid services, but none of these paid services that have been tested by that group or also by us really provided a comprehensive solution so that you have a one-stop shop solution for your research needs. You might use a public database, but then you have to do all the analytics yourself. You have to find citations, you have to find relations and connections. Maybe you're using books and public databases. So there's a lot of time that goes to waste that you could allocate in a different way to serve your clients in a better way or go along with your thesis in a better way if you're a student. So this is definitely a problem out there. And so what the idea of Highbrows was, okay, we want to solve that problem right away. And So what is Highbrows? And it's something you might ask yourself, because the name doesn't give it away in an instant. So Highbrows provides the legal researchers with the most up-to-date information on European Union law, and that all in one place. So it should be a one-stop shop solution for your research needs. So you can find links to legislations and case rulings instantly, and that's for any topic that you're researching. So there shouldn't be any more flipping through tons of pages or websites where you're trying to find what you need. It should all be integrated in one solution, as you will see in a few minutes. So there's no need anymore for books or for any other platforms. You can all do it with one solution. On top of that, there's also a lot of additional functionality that really makes the difference here. And that is, for example, an innovative citation module, which creates a seamless search experience and brings together related documents from different sources in one really user-friendly interface. So you really have it all together in one dashboard. So you can browse the entire jurisprudence with one single tool. And if you ask yourself, okay, but where does this data come from? All the data that I get from these public databases and from books is really trustworthy and reliable. So then I can tell you, we only work with partners, with official partners. So all the data comes from official sources only. So we work with Eurolex, with the European Commission, with Curia, and with many more of these official partners. So you can always rely on the fact that this data is current, is accurate, and none of it goes missing. Then also important to know, who are we? So as you can see here on that slide in the picture, you can see that's the core team. So from the left top to the bottom right, we have Sham, our managing director, and myself. Then we have Grace, our creative director. We have Remco and Ruben, who are the main back-end and front-end developers. So they're responsible for all the things that work in the back. And then also we have Dika, who is our legal specialist, and we have Anushri as our content specialist. So this is the core team. We're based in Amsterdam. Most of us were from all over the world, and this is the core team that takes care of having the platform up and running constantly and developing all your user feedback into that platform. So what we now want to do is we want to look inside the platform, because I talked to you a little bit about, okay, what is possible with the platform, but we want you to see that firsthand live. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Sham, who is going to give you a bit of a more in-depth look into the platform.
Thanks a lot, Marcel. Hello, everyone. I will pick up from Marcel ended. The idea of providing solutions to the problem Marcel just described is that the problem, the main underlying problem is there are lots of complexities in legal research. Now, what we wanted to do is to simplify the legal research, and therefore what we did is, first of all, to devise a platform in only 3 sections. So the platform, the first section are our dashboard section, the second one is search results, and the third one is our citator module, which we call HiCite. When you log into our in the platform, then the first thing a user will see is a pop-up. Mainly, the pop-up is there so that user can see the different guidance videos that there. This presentation is quite compact, and therefore I think that a user can go inside those guidance videos and check it out. Please feel free to go inside. They're also in YouTube, and you will see a bit more of the platform in details. Now, the dashboard section has on the top right corner, it will have My Browse. I will come to the My Browse in a little bit. Under the help, there is a knowledge base. In the knowledge base are much more details about how the platform works, what are the different functions of the platform. Please feel free to go there. And if you do not find anything and have more questions, you're always welcome to give us an email through the contact page. Then there is one more important thing under the users. As you can see, it's my name. And under the user, there is a tab called topics. On clicking the topics, then you can tailor-made the information that is displayed in the dashboard section based on your areas of interest. So if it is politics or if it is international relations, so on and so forth, then the information in that page, which I'm going to tell you, is going to be tailor-made for all those topics only. Coming back to the dashboard section, there are 4 subsections to the dashboard section. The first one is the search section, where a user can search quick search. Then you can do a history search if you are already in there. So then you can see the history of your previous keyword search. If you want, then you can also narrow down the search result by using different parameters. Next section of the dashboard section are the latest legislation published. So in these circumstances, the latest legislation that was published on the 9th of August are shown in this subsection. The next one are the latest news on the current laws section. So in this, where you can see the latest news on the current law, for in this instance, you can see that this law is coming into force on the 9th of August. Then after that are the upcoming delegated acts and upcoming implementing acts section. These are the laws that are upcoming. So if you want to keep track of the laws that are coming in the future, then you can do that through this section. Just one more reminder that all these information that I just mentioned in these subsections can be tailor-made to your areas of interest through the topics tab on the top right corner. Let's jump in there and do a search. So if I do a search on immigration, for example, then the platform searches on the immigration and brings us to our next section, which is our search results section. Our search results section is, as you can see, is divided into 2 tabs. One are the legal acts. Here you can see all the legal acts that have immigration in their body or in their expression title, have immigration in them, are related to immigration keyword, and you can see if it is in force or not in force. You can go and see the legal act by legal act itself, the document itself, by clicking on the button to the right. I will come back to that in a minute. And then the next tab is our case law section. In the case laws are here are shown under the category that they are in. So, for example, if a case law is under the agriculture, forestry, and fishery, you can find it under that topic, under business and competition on that topic. And most importantly, under the first topic, of course, are based on the parties. The reason being that if that a lot of users try and search on parties, and therefore you can see the case laws based on parties under that section. And there are a couple more things about the search results. It has we have produced our search result based on deep learning and AI. We are still learning on the entire European jurisprudence, and therefore, if there are any, for example, any spelling mistakes, it directs you to the right place. And then, of course, we find the most relevant search results for the users through a citation-based model. In this model, the case laws that are cited the most number of times are shown at the top of the search, top of the ranking, so that it gives our users the most relevant search results. Now, all these case laws are hyperlinked. So if you click on them, just now, that's what I did. It is going to take you to our next section of our platform, which is the citation module of our platform, and we call it the high side. In this section, first of all, when you land in this section, there, of course, as a new user, if you land in this section, you'll be greeted with this pop-up. And if you want to know more about it, there are your YouTube videos. Just please click on it and feel free to look at it. It gives an idea about this section in a bit more detailed way. Then the main object of this section is to read the case law, and that's why the case law is shown in the middle, and you can read the case law document. If you don't want the clutter around it, then you can try the focus mode. In the focus mode, it is going to show you the entire case law in the full screen, and it's better to read. Then the other part of this section comes in, which is the citations. So what we have done is we have gone through every single jurisprudence, every single case laws in European Union right from the beginning, and we have brought away and found all the different links to the case law. To the left side of the case law, you can find all the related case laws to this case law, and the right side you can find all the related legal acts to this case law. So so for this one, for instance, if there are cases based on similar legal acts, then you will find it under this tab. The cases that are based on this case law, for example, there could be an opinion of Advocate General and so on and so forth, you will find it under this tab. Then comes the real citation part. So we have trained our algorithm to go and read the cases, and so every case law that has been cited in this case are shown under this tab, and you can go through it. You can go and browse it by clicking on this button, and it will take you to that particular case. Then, of course, we have gone through other cases that are citing this particular case law. So you can actually, which 43 of these over here, and you can go through and have a look into it, and then basically you can browse those cases and by clicking on the arrow to the right, and it is going to take you to that particular case. As I mentioned before, the right side of the case law document are related legal acts. So, for example, for this instance, the legal act that has been interpreted by this case law is shown on the right side, and you can of course go and click that button. It will take you to that particular legislation. Then we come to the legislation that has been cited in this case law. So under here, you have three legislations that are cited in this case law. So you can see Directive 93/64 and Directive 93/64 over there. You can, if you want to see what the legislation is all about, please go and have a click and have a look into it. And we're going to go have a look into it as well to show you the legal act part of our high side, which is the citation module. But apart from showing the legislation, so you can go and of course read the legislation, but you can also go and read the particular article that has been shown in this case law. So if you find reading the entire legislation too long, and as every single case law, most case laws do not just cite a particular legislation, they more go towards a single particular article. And so the article, we have gone through all these legislations, brought the citations out, and then also we have split up those legislation into individual article and connected those citations to that article, so that when you're reading a particular case law and reading a citation on a particular case law, you don't need to go through the entire legislation pages after pages. You can just go and look in the article to the right of it. If we go towards the to the legal acts page of Highside with the Citation Module, to the left side, as usual, all the related case laws that are interpreting this legal act are shown. All the case laws that are based on this legal act, which is basically all the case laws that are citing this legal act, 649 of them in this case. This is quite old case, which is 1968. So it's been cited quite a lot of times, are shown in there. Amendments to these legal acts, long time. So there are lots of amendments are shown on the right side. Then legislation implementing this legal act are shown here, and other related legal acts are the citations, are the legal acts that have been cited by this particular legal act, which is shown in there. Going back to our previous case log page, there are a couple more things that are quite important for this as well. If you want to download the case law as a PDF document, you can click there and it gets downloaded in the download folder. And if you want to send these relations to your colleague, you can do so through the email. You can take notes by clicking on that, and then this note is always going to be shown once you view this case log. And last but not least, you can view all of your notes on every single cases by clicking on my browse tab on the top. I don't have legal X, where you can see all the different notes that you have taken about this case law. That brings us in a very concise and way what the platform is. Thank you for listening. Before ending, I just want to mention a couple of things that we are going to add to what you have seen. One is integration to Dropbox, OneDrive, and Google Drive, and second are our where you can save the cases and legal acts as favorites to your own folder. Thanks, Marcel. Thank you.
All right. So I think that was quite a good first look into the platform. So of course we don't have the time just in 10 minutes to show you every little gritty detail here. But I think that was a good first overview on how the platform works. And a couple of things, if you're curious to see more, of course, you can use our YouTube videos, and you can also go to our website, and we will also post this on LinkedIn, and then you can schedule a one-on-one free demo with us where we go much more into detail on the subject. So curious to see more. It's not only about the demos, of course, we would also love to offer you access to the platform so that you can see yourself the power of Highbrows and how it can basically help you transforming your research. So therefore, we would like to offer you an extended free trial for 14 days where you can basically register an account. You can use the full functionality of Highbrows. After 14 days, your trial will end if you do not decide to prolong it. And you can do this by just registering below the video through the link where you can see in the info box, claim your free trial. On top of that, because that's not all, because we also want to value that you've been here with us for the last 26 minutes ongoing and offer you something really, really nice. So we would like to offer you 50% discount on our annual subscription. So normally you would pay 299 euros for that, but now you will get this for only 145 euros for the first year only, and you can cancel anytime. What does that mean? We have a money back guarantee for 30 days. So if you buy it, you use Highbrows, you decide it's not for you within the first 30 days, you'll get all your money back. Otherwise, you will have the subscription for a year, and then you can decide if you want to go on or not. Also that you can do down below in the info box where you can see the coupon code and the checkout page. So just use the coupon code while you're in the trial on the checkout page. That brings us basically to our last point of the agenda, which is the Q&A. And before we go into the Q&A, I would also like to say that the webinar that you just saw, we will share this on LinkedIn so you can watch the replay, you can share it with your boss, with your colleagues, with your co-workers. So the more people that want to see it, the better. So you can always share that, and we will be live on a constant, regular basis now from now on. So that being said, thanks a lot for listening. We have 4 minutes left. Let's jump into a Q&A. And I can see that Jose has one question. So can employees of Highbrows see the search queries I perform on the platform? Sham, maybe you can take that one.
Yeah, it's quite an important question. No, employees of Highbrows cannot see the queries that you're performing on the search on the platform. The reason being that all the names of our users are anonymous in the backend. So which means that of course we can see what kind of queries have been performed, but we cannot see who has done it. So it's completely anonymous. So it's masked behind a number, and therefore it's very safe.
Okay, that's clear. Are there any more questions from the audience so far before we leave you? Okay, Sarah is saying she's using the platform of one of our competitors. What are the key benefits of Highbrows?
There are two main key benefits, which is basically the two main problems that we are solving. The first benefit is the relevancy of the search results. So the engine in Highbrows is we have created based on AI and deep learning, which means that, and of course based on a citation based model, which means that you can get much more relevant information much more quickly. So not going through pages and pages of information to find out what you are trying to find out. And the second one are what is our Citation Module, is where we have gone through different case laws and different legal acts, and then we have we read those case laws and legal acts programmatically, and then we have we harvested all the data, brought, and then we have linked it with different other case laws and legal acts, and therefore, while looking in one document, you will get entire information about how many legal acts or how many documents are citing that document and how many documents that particular case law is citing outside, and all in one place. And these are the two main difference that I think is between Highbrows and other competitors.
Okay, great. I see two more questions, one from Sarah and one from Jose. I would like to combine them a little bit. So Sarah is asking, do you offer any discounts for volume licensing of Highbrows? Jose is asking that can I have subscribers via corporate or team license? The answer to both questions, which is basically one question, is yes. The reason why we do not have complete pricing on that on our website is that there's many different scenarios, and there's not one solution fits all approach. So our approach here is to be tailor-made and customized. So we would like to encourage you to get in touch with us on our website and book a slot with us, so with Cham and with me, and then we will ask you a few questions on what your exact demand is, and then we will get back to you with an offer, because you will get a custom-made pricing, of course, with a discount. Also, the more licenses you need, the more discount you will get, and that will be tailor-made to your needs. So yes, that is definitely possible, but we cannot say a number now because that is different from case to case. Okay. I see no more questions at the moment in the chat, and we're ending on time at 6 o'clock. So again, thank you very much from Sham and from myself.
Thank you very much
for joining our first webinar. You will find us more often now live on LinkedIn, so please join in whenever you like. Follow us on LinkedIn so you don't miss anything. Also, all the most important and crucial updates that are coming up. Call us up on the offer you see below, and I wish you a wonderful evening wherever you are, and thank you very much. See you soon.
Thank you again.
Bye-bye.